exactly that end time destination, what is the desired time we have to bring to our current level without the time and space uh, without the time and space concept, then Milin sir said that it is a gratitude how we are going to reach to that point, because you need not know how and how it is going to work. But if you be grateful to the be grateful and ensure that you have this affirmation, then you will be in that desired state already without any time lapse or space. So I then realized, oh, okay, so this is also one way to understand. It's very good, no? Mhm.
Yes, yes, I do agree. I do agree. Melinji, you are already here. You want to say something?
I am here. I glad to listen that it sync with the response well to Linaji. But again, very just to clear, this is not again my learning. This is all my learning. But I reveal the source as well. There, as I mentioned many times, there are a lot of Indian gurus. All masters actually. Their knowledge is all readily available. I'm here just a meditator, just to bringing that knowledge to you all, and I keep on sharing all these things. So go to the root source. It is not Milin speaking, it is all their knowledge. But definitely I will share their sources, and start reading those or start experimenting with those. That is how this group, I like about, it is the expression. And Mansi, yes, I do agree with Lina. Jesus, discussions are important in one way, just to understand the other's perspective, many perspective, to know more about the books and people. I use this channel as a connecting the people. Otherwise, I do not have that kind of strong, positive people surrounding me. So that vibes helps me. I many times said the same thing. These vibes helps me a lot throughout my day, because otherwise my days is very my days is very pressure or this thing. But this group helps. This vibes helps. But yeah, time management is a little bit this thing. That's why we are actually trying experimenting with different approaches. But yeah, there to share a lot.
Yeah, even I agree. I felt like the heart of the session would be taken out if we remove this part. So I don't know, but everyone agreed. So I was like, let's see how it works. So yeah, I don't know if anyone else is joining.
Let's
Shall
start, I
I?
think. Yeah.
So there is in this sixth part, na, there are some different things I can see. They are not just the videos.
Uh-huh.
There is this something like kaleidoscope, mind movies. So do we want to play that, or we can just jump to the video directly? So there are 6.1 से लेके 6.6 six videos in all. I don't know how long they are, but there are six of them in all.
I think just go with the chapter wise movies, and then we'll see what there in these 6 videos.
So shall I play the kaleidoscope part?
Yeah, just open, just yeah, play. Let's see what there in it.
It is 10 minutes. I'll just show, just give me a minute.
Okay, yeah.
What we can do, I can just open one by one
Yeah.
and share like what it is, and the folder is accessible to all anyways.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
instead
yeah,
of playing it here, we can just go by it ourselves.
yeah.
Just give me a minute. Just a minute. I'm not able to share. Uh, okay. Enter screen. I'm just getting some this thing. Just give me a minute. Is it tell me properly, huh?
Yeah, it's coming.
Okay. So this is the kaleidoscope part. I think it just this kaleidoscope
Oh,
images and
just
music.
audio. Okay.
This is I think for meditation only.
Yeah. Just go ahead. Yeah,
I
just go ahead to
guess.
the next. Yeah.
See, this is what I can see. Okay, so we can just do it on our own. This link description, if anyone want to access this now, it's there, okay, in our group description, B clubs. So we can easily access that. So don't worry about it of not finding it or something. Okay, I can't see it now. Not I'm not able to go back. Just give me a minute. Maybe, yeah. Huh. Then again, the same thing with this. Again, a 8-minute kaleidoscope only. Okay, so
We'll skip those.
yeah, I'll skip the kaleidoscope. There are two more. Then there is this something called Mind Movie. I think this is affirmations and pictures,
Yeah.
music.
Yeah.
You just watch. It's basically
Yeah.
we should watch it one by one, and maybe every day we just watch it, and so we just it just gets into our memory, kind of a thing. From this, I just got an idea. Instead of this, Bilinji, like getting inspired by this, what if we create our own mind movie?
Can you hear me?
Like the way. Oh yeah.
Okay, welcome back to
Okay,
Okay.
just give me a minute. Before I play this, I just had this idea about the mind movie. What if we have our own these things about mind, like create our own mind movies based on the uh, based on the pictures we like, or things we want to do, things like that. What if we just create that and watch that every day? Isn't that a great idea? Instead of watching this, like it can be, this can be an inspiration, but that could be more relatable, I feel. And
Mansi,
you
on
know how
Mind
to do it, right,
Movies,
Bilinji?
can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah,
can.
if you are all interested, then yeah, definitely let's have one, say, 45-minute session, because I have a own whole series on series means very 40, say 25 minutes on Mind Movies, and then I will give you idea how to, because I've been doing this for many years. I will give you the softwares and ideas and all that, and I will help for our group members. I will support them technically. I will show them how to, and then from
Like to
that point
create
we'll.
the mind movie, you're saying?
Yes, yeah, exactly. Okay,
So that is
let's.
something I think you shared initially about your son's pictures
Yeah,
and all, no?
yeah. So let's
So
have a
something
separate
we all
session on
can do.
that one, because it
Yes,
helps a
Bilinji,
lot.
let's
Yeah,
plan for it.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
you
Let's,
schedule,
because
you plan, and let's do it.
yeah,
Let's have a working session or something like that.
yeah. Let's do that. Yeah, because this really helps for people while doing the visualization. Some of the people, they do not actual visualize. Actual, they cannot see the pictures. It is the what type of that person is. Some of the pictures are people are virtual. Some people are audible. So yeah, so it really helps. But let's have that session. We'll discuss more on that.
Bilinji,
Okay.
can we have it either in this time or in the after evening time when you are doing the meditations?
I think whichever time which you means, everyone is available. Like that is my prefer this way. Otherwise, a Saturday our movie time, that is another way, because this is something related to movies. That is also fine. Otherwise, I'm okay with that,
Yeah.
because I know I have the series. The point when I started doing it. So let's watch those and start doing our this thing. No problem. Let's
Okay,
do it.
so you
Yeah.
decide how to lead it, and what
Yeah.
you can do is you can just whenever you are available, if
Yeah.
it's possible this week, nothing
Yeah.
like it, just drop a poll of 2-3 time options.
No problem.
Like
Yeah. Let's do that.
maybe one could be Saturday afternoon, one could
Yeah.
be after this series, or one could be
Let's
in the
do it.
evening,
No
whatever
problem.
time option.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
Let's do it. Yeah.
mute myself when I play this. Okay, give me a
Yeah.
minute.
Perfect. Yeah. No problems.
Hi everyone, we're just watching 6.1 video from the series now today. Yeah, just playing it.
Okay, welcome back to Lesson 6, where I'm going to begin to introduce some of my favorite tools for creating your future. In fact, I call this part Remembering Your Future. We're going to combine two different techniques for you to begin to subconsciously program you into a new destiny. The first tool that we use is a kaleidoscope. Now I'm going to tell you why we use the kaleidoscope. The first point is when I've had mystical experiences in my life, many times just before a mystical experience, I see these geometric patterns, these standing waves of energy. They're like mandalas, the best way I can describe them, but they're fractal patterns, patterns within patterns, and they're energy. And when I see them or perceive them in my mind, the moment I perceive them, if I can surrender to them, I know that my brain is going to take that standing wave of energy and information and transduce it into very powerful imagery, very profound imagery. And the best way that I can describe those geometric patterns has been a kaleidoscope. Now, we use the kaleidoscope to induce trance in our students. Now, why is trance important? Because most people, when they're in trance, they're typically in trance with their eyes closed. But what we want to teach you is how to be in trance with your eyes open. And one great example of when you're in trance is when you're driving down the freeway in your car. You're not moving your body very much. You're not overly analytical. You're kind of still in a lot of ways. You're interfacing pretty evenly between the road in your outer world and what's going on in the pictures in your inner world in your mind. And when you do that, that's when you begin to change your brain waves and open the door to the subconscious mind. Now, what separates the conscious mind from the subconscious mind is your analytical mind. So then 5% of your conscious mind, as we've been saying all course long, working against the 95%, which is the subconscious, which is habits and behaviors and beliefs and perceptions and attitudes and emotional reactions. For the most part, that's typically happening in the subconscious. So then the subconscious is kind of running the show for a lot of people. So they can be conscious of what they want in their future, but their subconscious has been programmed very differently. So then we use the kaleidoscope because we want to open the door between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. And when you move into trance, as you move into trance, you change your brain waves from beta to alpha, and for some people into theta. And when you change your brain waves, that door opens. The analytical mind begins to become subdued. And if you're not analyzing, you're not thinking. And if you're not thinking, you're not analyzing and trying to critique and try to figure out how and when it's going to happen. So when you become entranced and you change your brain waves, you also increase your level of suggestibility. So as your analytical mind goes down, your level of suggestibility goes up. And suggestibility is your ability to accept, believe, and surrender to information without analyzing it. So when you're looking at a television set and your brain is in alpha and you're sitting still and all of your attention is on the moving pictures, and a television commercial comes on and you're in trance and you're suggestible to information, and the advertisement is warning you against getting a flu because of some bugs that have your name on it, and you're suggestible to it, you're more prone to make a choice to get a flu shot because you believe that your immune system can't fight some type of bacteria in your outer world. So people are programmed all the time on television and the internet, and their programming is programming into very limited states and limited beliefs. So whether it's some type of health condition, whether it's some type of need for some type of product, all of that is creating dependency on that we need something in our outer world to change how we're going to feel in our inner world. And that kind of association then causes us to become victims to our lives. In other words, we don't believe that we can change from within. We believe that it's going to require something outside of us to do something to us. A very, very limited form of conditioning, but a very powerful form of conditioning. So then we use the kaleidoscope to induce trance. And when you're in trance, you're more suggestible. And when you're more suggestible, you're changing your brain waves from beta to alpha. And when you change your brain waves from beta to alpha, you're getting beyond your analytical mind. And when you're less analytical, you're more suggestible. So they all work together. So our students then gaze into the kaleidoscope, and as they open their focus and they stare into it, and I keep asking them to relax more and more. As they relax more and more and they slow their breathing down, they're changing their brain waves, and they're just gazing into it. They're not thinking, they're not analyzing, they're just looking at geometry. And as they look at those changing fractal patterns, as they're gazing into it, they can't activate the association centers in their brain, and they bypass their perceptual networks. In other words, they can't see their Aunt Jenny, they're not looking at their first bicycle. There's no objects or images in there that keep them in the known part of their brain. And as they're fascinating and transfixing their mind on those patterns and they're changing, as their brain waves begin to slow down, they're opening the door between their conscious mind and their subconscious mind. And it's those fractal patterns that begin to unlock the subconscious. So then after they look at the kaleidoscope for a period of time, what if you were to make a mind movie of your future? And instead of programming yourself into a very limited state, like you need something outside of you to make you happy, you start programming yourself to become more unlimited and to create a new life for yourself. And when you go from the kaleidoscope to the mind movie, and you're gazing into the images and the patterns, and you're seeing yourself in your future, if you're truly beyond your analytical mind, you're not going to say, how is that going to happen? It didn't happen last time. How am I going to afford that trip? That critic is in the back seat, and now you're beginning like a tape recorder. You're beginning to tape a new program subconsciously. Now, in the mind movie technology, we use a song that goes along with the images that you're looking at and along with the affirmations that you are going to list in there. So the song then begins to create the elevated emotion. As the song begins to create the elevated emotion and you start feeling inspired and invincible and joyful, and you're looking at those pictures, something amazing happens. The act of becoming emotional and looking at those pictures begins to create long-term memories. So when you have an event in your life that shocks you or creates some emotion and you feel changed inside of you and you pay attention to what caused it outside of you, the stronger the emotion, the stronger the long-term memory. And this is where people get trapped. That becomes their identity. Their personality is now in the past. So then as you begin to create an elevated emotion and you begin to pay attention to the pictures in your mind movie, if you truly move out of your resting state and begin to feel the joy and the excitement of your future, and the song is motivating you and you're looking at those pictures, and the song changes and transitions, in every place where the song changes and transitions, your brain begins to map it neurologically. And just like when you listen to a song on the radio that reminds you of a time in your life when you were a teenager, an associative memory of some person and something at some time and place, as you associate that song with a past memory and activate neurological networks in your brain, I want you to remember your future just like you remember the past. And biologically, it's exactly the same in the brain. So then when you move into your mind movie, I'm going to ask you, as you watch those images and you see those affirmations, when you start feeling empowered and you start feeling joyful and you start getting excited, you will only accept, believe, and surrender to information that's equal to your emotional state. And if you open the door between your conscious mind and your subconscious mind, that thought, that feeling is going to make it all the way into your body, and you're going to begin to program your brain and body into the future. So then, you'll watch your mind movie a few times, and as you watch your mind movie a few times and you're pairing it with the song, your brain is going to begin to map it neurologically, and it's going to begin to become programmed subconsciously. So you'll do that for a period of time, and then we'll ask you to switch and you'll go back to the kaleidoscope. And as you go back to the kaleidoscope, I'm going to ask you to relax, open your focus to the space around you, and as you open your focus and you gaze into the center of the kaleidoscope and you move into trance, as you stay in trance and not analyze and think and continuously relax, you change your brain waves and you start opening that door to reprogram yourself. And then you'll go from the kaleidoscope back to the mind movie. And we'll go back and forth because the more you do it, just like a television commercial, and the jingle and the pictures, when you associate a change in emotion with symbols and images, you begin to program yourself subconsciously. And if you do it over and over again, you're going to begin to program yourself into the future. So now, a couple things for you to remember. I'm going to introduce you to Natalie Ledwell. Her and her partner Glenn were very active in creating the Mind Movie technology. I sought them out and asked them if we could partner with them in our advanced workshops to teach people how to do this exact procedure. Now, people ask some very common questions like, how many mind movies can I make? Well, you can make as many mind movies as you want. You can have a mind movie that has to do with just health. You could have a mind movie that has to do with just creating the perfect partner or perfect relationship. You could have a mind movie for the whole year of things you want to accomplish in 1 year. It doesn't matter. Just pick a song and create them. Now, many people say, oh, I don't have the time to do a mind movie, or I don't want to do it, I'm not very good at technology, and I want you to know that's just a limited belief. Everybody who sits down and finally takes the time to create their mind movie starts to have the same experience. The first experience is all of a sudden they get very clear on what they want. In other words, the act of constructing the mind movie helps them to know what they want in their future. And the act of building it is the building process neurologically in their brain for them to get very clear on their intention. So other people will say, well, I'm not very good at technology. The technology is so simple. All you have to do is sit down, go through the tutorial, and put it on your phone, put it on your tablet, put it on your computer, pick a song that really moves you, and pick a time of day that really makes a difference for you. Me, I like to watch my mind movies before I go to bed. Why? Because I just like to sit there and be entertained and get it all in, and then I fall asleep and I dream about a lot of the images in my mind movie. That's exactly what I want my brain and body to begin to dream about. So if I'm putting in the right information, I'm getting out the right experience. I'm putting in garbage, I'm going to get garbage coming out. So program yourself either in the morning when you wake up or before you go to bed at night, or if you're going to work out, do it before your workout. Pick the song that really moves you. Pick a song that causes you to come out of your resting state. It's important for you to know that if you choose a song, it could be 4 minutes, it could be 5 minutes, it could be 3 minutes. But don't pick a song that's too long, but most people do about 4 minutes, and that's what a song usually is. I have friends and people in this work, and I'm very serious about this, who are on their third and fourth mind movie because everything happened in their first 2 or 3. So we know it works. We know that people who do it begin to have profound changes in their life. And just like hearing that song on the radio that reminds you of your past, I just want you to keep being reminded of your future. So I could tell you story after story after story of people who have created some really profound experiences in their mind movie. I'll tell you 1 or 2, and hopefully that'll motivate you to make it. One woman was working on, in her mind movie, in creating a car. She wanted a new car. Now you have to remember that the way that the experience comes should not be how you can predict it. Because the moment you can predict it, it's a known. So you have to be open to however it comes. So a few months, I think it was a month after her advanced workshop, her aunt had died and left her an inheritance. And the inheritance was a little bit more than what the car was worth in terms of a sticker value. So she went right to the car lot, and she walked right up to the car, the color and everything, and all the different components and features of the car, and the salesman came up and she said, look, let's not even mess around here. This is the car that I want. I want to take it for a test drive. And he said, okay, let me go get the keys. And so he got the keys, and she came back, she signed the papers, gave him her license. She gets in the car, and then he says, okay, it's got an amazing sound system, and he turns on the sound system, and when he turns on the car radio, the song from her mind movie started playing, which is, for her, she started sobbing and getting all excited. And he said, what? You don't like the car? We'll get you another car. And she said, no, this is my car. So the synchronicities that happen for people with their mind movies are profound. Another woman who was listing her home for years, couldn't sell it. She started working on her mind movie, and she slipped into a state and had a very lucid experience where she could see herself signing the papers. She could smell the cologne of the realtor. She could taste the champagne. She had a very strong inner experience. And when she came out of that meditation, she got a text from her husband, and her house wasn't even on the market at this point, that someone made an offer on the house, and by the time the event was over, she sold her house. People have created wealth, they have created trips, they've created health changes in their health condition. It's the possibilities are endless. The key is to make it fun. The key is to make it something that you look forward to doing. And the key is that if you do it every single day, you'll begin to program yourself into the future. So I hope you enjoy it.
There's no better person to explain the technology of the mind movies and how it was created and how it works than the creator of it. So please welcome Natalie Ledwell.
Thank you. Thank you, Derek. I love it at Dr. Joe events. We're in no time and space. And I thought I was coming on at 6, so I had to just do the bolt from the hotel room down here. So today, this evening,
the unexpected.
Yeah. So this evening, what I'm going to do is actually go through and explain, answer all your questions. What is a mind movie? How do I use it? How long is it supposed to be? How we got started. I'm going to give you some inspiration and some hope, because if you're someone who feels that you are technically challenged, I'm going to challenge your paradigm on that, because I was very technically challenged when we got started as well. And we've been able to build a great business from there. So let's get into exactly what is a mind movie. So technically what it is a visualization tool. It is a movie that you create that is a picture of the beautiful life that you want to create. And it's a combination of affirmations and words, which are like the narrative of the story that you tell through your movie that's describing this amazing life that you're creating for yourself, which is enhanced by photos, images, or videos. And then the secret sauce is the music that we combine to it as well. So it's made of those 3 components. But really, it's designed to help you create a movie so that it's easy for you to put yourself in the picture or in that future. Let's say that one of your goals is that you want to travel to India, but you've never been there before. By adding music, photos of India, affirmations, describing what it's like when you get there is going to really help you to put yourself in your mind in India before you actually get there. Put you in that picture of perfect health, in that loving relationship, on the wealthy future that you want to create. So when we're talking about the affirmations on the narrative, there's a couple of ways that you can do it and suggestions that I'm going to have for you. So if you have pen and paper, I recommend that you grab it up, because I'm going to give you some specific points and things that you can use when you're creating your mind movie. So let's get into the words or the affirmations or the narrative that you want to be flowing through your mind movie. So like I said, there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can tell a story, and then each slide is like one sentence that's going through the story like that. Or what I really like to do is use affirmations. So describing this future as if it's happening now, because that's really going to help you put you in the picture. Okay, so the first type of affirmation is what I call your what affirmations. So what is it that you want? And be a little bit specific here. Something that's measurable, or something that's that's tangible. You want an abundant lifestyle. You want to be earning a certain amount of money per month. You want to be in a loving and supporting relationship. You want optimal health. You want to be able to move freely and have all your limbs and your whole body in strength. So think about what it is, what that ideal thing is that you want, that you're moving towards. Then we want to describe what life is like now that you're there. Now, on Saturday, when we're going to be using Mind Movies with the kaleidoscope, we're going to be choosing a scene or one of the slides to be able to build out and put ourselves in the picture and dimensionalize, this one scene in our mind movie. So when we're doing our visualizations, we want to feel what it's like to already be there. We want to have that elevated emotion. We want to have that feeling. So describe what life is going to be like once you can walk and move without pain. Once you're disease-free, once you're, created the life that you want, that you're in that loving relationship. So think about how that changes your day-to-day life, how it changes the life of your family. How you're going to feel when you get there. So try and describe that as well. It's like when we're thinking about creating wealth in our life, remember this, we want to feel that elevated emotion. Now, we can think about a pile of cash, but a pile of cash is not necessarily invoking any emotion, but it's what the money means to us. How it changes our lives and the people that we get to help through creating that wealth. Did we got that? Understand? Yep. Great. Okay, the next one is your why affirmation. So why? Why do you want to go the extra mile? Why do you want to get up at 4 a.m. most mornings and do a Dr. Joe meditation? Why do you want to stretch yourself? Because when you come across challenges, which, often will happen, when you can remember why you're stepping outside your comfort zone and doing this extra effort, that's going to be that burning motivation and fuel to help you keep moving forward and to keep going. And to remind you why you're getting up so early, or you're staying up that extra hour at night, or you're doing those, those extra things that day to be able to create your goal. So think about why that is. It could be, for your kids, sending them to college, could be for your parents, it could just be because you want to prove to yourself that you can do it, or prove to the people around you that don't think that you can. So think about why it is that you want to reach that goal. The next one is the action steps that you want to take. Now, you don't need to know the whole plan. You don't need to have everything, all the ducks in a row and everything figured out before you start moving towards this future that you want to create. But you do need to know what the first step is. And you do need to know what the next step is after that. And maybe there are some habits or some practices that you want to implement that's going to help you to become the person that will be able to create this life that you want to create. Maybe there's some health habits that you want to incorporate. Or maybe there's, a spiritual practice or your meditations or whatever that is. Make sure that you add them in there as well, because it helps you not only to remind yourself that you want to be implementing these new habits and practices, but it helps you to put yourself in your mind and see yourself already doing it. So that when you do sit down and it is something that's a little outside your comfort zone, it's a little easier for you to do and you're a little bit more motivated to get it done. Okay? Then the last one is what we call our thoughts or belief affirmations. Dr. Joe was talking earlier today about, when we're going into our meditation and we've got to break through all those walls, our environment, our thoughts, and our beliefs. So what is it that you have, that you believe now that's really thwarting your success? We've all picked up different thoughts and programs, normally when we're young, from our culture, from our parents, from the people around us, that really aren't in alignment with this future that we want to create. And the easiest way to, for them to rear their ugly head and to come to the surface is when we're actually taking action towards that future. So be mindful of those thoughts that are coming up. And if you can acknowledge these thoughts and go, okay, well, these aren't really working for me right now, think about the thoughts that you do want to think. And then when you're doing your visualizations or doing your meditations, you can actually see yourself operating from these new thought paradigms and seeing the different outcomes that are showing up for you as a result of doing that. And this is just from taking a little while to be proactive and intentional to think about what these thoughts are and to make a choice to think something different and to act differently and to do something completely different. The next is what we call the next part of the process is your affirmations or your images. A mind movie is basically you have like for the purposes of this weekend, if you have 10 to 15 slides, you're rock and roll. That's fantastic. Okay. Normally in mind movies average between 20 to 25 slides, and each slide has an affirmation or words and then a photo on it as well. So you have 15, 20 of those. So the photos that you choose are the ones that want to enhance the affirmation that you have. Okay, so we have a whole library of photos inside the software that you can use, and you can just drag and drop and put them in there, or you can import your own photos. But you want to try, they don't necessarily have to be literal, but they could be something that's symbolic and what's meaningful to you when it comes to thinking about your health or finances or love or whatever that is. But it doesn't have to be something little, but something that really enhances that. Because remember, every part of this process, we're looking to invoke a positive emotion or an elevated emotion, so that when we go into our meditation after that, we're already in that elevated emotion. You can also add videos. And then the last thing is the music. So this is where the juicy juice is. Okay, this is the secret sauce. Because as you know, music is very powerful in invoking an emotion. So you want to choose a song that really blows your hair back. Something that really makes your heart sing. It could remind you of a special time in your life that every time you think about that time, this song reminds you of it, and it makes you smile and it makes you feel happy. And it depends on what type of mind movie that you have. For example, all of my health and fitness mind movies, I always have something really up-tempo, because I'm normally watching that movie as I'm going to the gym, or as I'm at the gym, motivating me to keep going. It depends on what it is that you're into. Like I think I've seen every single type of music put to a mind movie. We've been working with Dr. Joe for nearly 3 years now, I think. It's been quite some time. I've seen heavy metal, I've seen classical, I've seen Disney tunes, I've seen a whole bunch of things.
Shall we stop here? It's already 4:11. Yes, everyone? Or shall I play one more? Yes? Can I hear from you?
Yeah, we can stop.
Yeah, I'll just check what is there. Okay, this is again, next one is also, it's mind movie only. A mind movie story, how to use mind movie and then see your desires. Okay, I think this is all around mind movie this time, so we can finish it tomorrow about this part. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm just closing this thing for now. Yeah, we can open up for any Milinji, how to go about it?
Hello. Yeah, Mansi, we'll have a separate session going through. Anyway, tomorrow we are finishing this mind movies, but then we'll have a separate session how to create the mind movies and everything. Discussion around specific to the mind movies. Yeah.
Yeah. So no discussion now, no? Or are we?
No, no, no. Anyway, I'm in office meeting. So if you guys want to discuss, then yes, go ahead, please.
Okay. So we just decided to keep our discussions very, very
Yeah.
short or negligible, like for a few days, so that we go away with taking the content that we are consuming and reflecting upon it and share it in the group, whatever we have learned so far. So anyone wants to share something or ask or say something, then you can. Otherwise, we can close the room.
I like the way how he has put placed this course actually, that like he explained visually. Also, he had to put some slides which can go into subconscious mind, and he said that he had attached that song or music, right? Which where you will feel happy to remember. I think that's the right way to, like how earlier someone said. Somewhere I heard that Janagana Mana everyone remembers, but pledge no one remembers, right? Because there is no rhythmic music to it. So Janagana Mana everyone remembers because there is a music to it, so everyone can tune it. So daily for almost 10, from first class to 10th class, if a person can hear both in the same frequency, same repeated, same number of days, but still one can remember only Janagana Mana, not the pledge, right? I think that's where he also has used that concept to see that we our subconscious takes it in very positive way, and it imbibes in it. That's nice concept. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. It is even I like this. I was never aware of this concept, and I'm just getting to know it now. And yeah, Melinji also knows a lot. He I think uses it also. So even I liked it. It's like a video vision board kind of a thing is what I felt. So it's very interesting. I'm liking it. So yeah, we'll get to know more about it as we end with the series of this 6 point all the videos, because there is a last video 6.6 which also talks about how to use it for meditation, and he's given some kaleidoscope, and we just saw in the beginning of the session he has given some kaleidoscope and these things like mind movie examples, so that will help us to create ours. Also, one more thing I just wanted to announce. Tomorrow I may not be able to host and conduct this. So if anyone can just take it up, then we can continue. Because I won't be there tomorrow. I'll be out. Milinji, will you be able to host it for tomorrow? Day after tomorrow, I can be there again. Or anyone else, if you can. Otherwise, we'll have
No,
to take a break.
tomorrow I'm going to actual office.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then in that case, then if not possible, then we'll take a break then tomorrow, and we'll continue it on Wednesday then.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, okay. If we find if there is someone who can do it, Suhasji, or we can ask Krishna also if that's possible for him, or Saurabh. So if no one is there, we'll take a break. Otherwise, we'll continue. Okay, yeah, yeah. Anyone wants to say something? You can. Otherwise, we can close it for today. Anyone wants to add something or ask something? Okay, I think we are done. Like people are leaving. Yeah, yeah. Dr. Suhas, yeah.
Yeah. No. Let's close it.
Okay, okay, yeah. Thank you, everyone. Then
Thank
we'll
you.
see you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye.
yeah. Tomorrow, day after. Yeah. Thank you.